Right guys, we're just going to run through completing the square, how you get a turning point, how you solve by completing the square, and how you describe the transformation. So it's everything related to completing the square. So completing the square is the same as when they say put it in the form x plus a all squared plus b. Okay, so to do that, you half the middle term. So I get x plus 4 all squared. 4 squared is going to give me 16. I don't want 16, I want minus 5, so I need to take away a total of 21. Where it says hence solve, we're literally going to write that x plus 4 all squared minus 21 is equal to 0. And we're just going to solve to find what x is. So we're going to add 21 to both sides. You get x plus 4 all squared equals 21. You're then going to square root. So I get x plus 4 is equal to, and just remember when you square root you put a plus and a minus. And then to get rid of the plus 4, we minus 4, and just for the sake of neatness, you put the minus 4 at the front, plus or minus the square root of 21. And that's it, we have solved the equation. Okay, if we then look, I'm just going to zoom out a little bit. If we then look at the second example, so same idea again, we're going to half the middle term, so it becomes x minus 3 all squared. Now minus 3 squared is going to give me positive 9. I don't want 9, I want 15, so I need to add on another 6. Okay, hence sketch the graph of our equation showing the y-intercept and the turning point. So we want to know where does it cross the y-axis and what's the bottom point of our curve. Now remember we said in terms of the graph, this is an x squared graph. Okay, and now typically the x squared graph goes through 0, 0. So it looks as a U shape through 0, 0. But remember, the bit inside the bracket tells you your x direction, so it tells you how far right or left your graph is going to go, and it's the opposite of what you expect. So a negative actually moves your graph to the right, a positive would move it to the left. The outside number tells you how far up or down your graph goes. That one is what you'd expect. So a positive moves it up, negative moves it down. Okay, so the minus 3 is going to move the bottom of the curve from sitting on 0, 0, since it's an x squared graph. It's going to move it across the 3 and then up to 6. So I know the bottom point of my curve is going to be the coordinate 3, 6. I know it's a positive x squared graph, so it's going to be a smiley face graph. And then all it wants us to say is what is the y-intercept, so where does it cross the y-axis? Well, just go back to your original equation. The n number is where it crosses the y-axis, because sorry, just realised that's cut out of the screen. Okay, the n number is where it crosses the y-axis, and that's because anywhere along the y-axis we know our x value is 0, 0, take away 0 is still 0, add 15, that point there is 15, and that's it, you've sketched your graph. Right, third one, again this is just ever so slightly changed from last time, so we're going to complete the square first of all. Half the middle term is x minus 5 all squared. 5 squared is going to give you 25. You don't want 25, you want 14, so we need to subtract 11. That means when you describe the transformation, if you think about your graph, we do it very quickly in the corner. What we've got is we know originally the x squared graph starts sitting on the point 0, 0. The minus 5 is going to move your graph 5 to the right. The minus 11 is going to move the graph down by 11. So you're going to end up with a graph looking like this. Now the reason I know it crosses up here is because, again, look back at your equation, n number tells you where it crosses. So I know it crosses at 14. So that means I've got a curve that looks like this, with that coordinate there being 5 and minus 11. We want to describe that transformation. Now remember, this started off as the original x squared graph. It moved 5 right and down 11. So that is a translation. Okay, because translation is where you move a shape but you don't change its size. Translation, top number tells you your x direction, so we need 5 right. Bottom number tells you up or down, so we need 11 down, which is why it's a minus 11. And that's it, there's your description of what's happened. Right, next one, we've got the turning point of this equation is 411. So we know that, thinking back to each of our curves, we know that point there is going to be 411. And again, if you need to sketch it, you can. We know that point at the bottom there is 411. It does mean that in terms of your brackets, the x plus a squared, let's write that down, x plus a squared plus b, we know that to get this to move 4 in the positive direction, the x must be negative. So it's x minus 4 all squared. And then we know that to move it up 11, this n number must have been plus 11. All you need to do from there is expand your brackets. Now remember, that is technically x minus 4 multiplied by x minus 4 and then add 11. So I get x squared minus 4x minus another 4x, so that's minus 8x, add 16 and then plus 11. Tidy it up a bit, x squared minus 8x plus 27. Okay, all the others should follow along in the same sort of idea, so give them a go, see how you get on. Any problems, let me know.